What's good? We're hopping right in.
The whistle?
I couldn't convince them to get me the whistle.
No.
Yeah, they're pretty stingy on the whistles.
Yep.
I almost had them.
Almost. Yeah, but other than that, you kind of, drop those guys off that happily didn't get grilled, I guess. Yeah.
We did negotiate with them to where they would be willing to trade with the human city if we can negotiate with
Yeah.
Pythor.
Mm-hmm. Like, they're definitely thankful for
Ooh, dark on that.
you helping them.
Big
and
time
all that.
flex.
They just didn't have really anything to give us because they're just a hunting party.
No, they just, yeah. I mean, yeah.
We earned goodwill, which is
Yeah.
more than we
they-
can say for most of our other endeavors.
Yeah, I would say that's kind of a pretty big thing. Like, yeah, it's probably worth quite a little bit if
But is
utilize it.
the cart still there?
Yes, the cart and horses were still there.
Yeah, why we left it there? Why would it be gone?
That's a
Who's-
fair
who-
question.
Who steals a cart?
Oh, you adorable soul, you.
Yeah, we hobbled the horses. I believe that's what it was called, right? And
Yeah, it's we hobbled the horses. We got them all
parked
off in
the
a
cart.
section.
No, the horses are
The
walking
cart
fine.
is very well parked.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get them all reset up. I feel like you guys probably shouldn't handle that.
Yeah, so the
That's-
big question is really where you like what you want to do next. You like Squig's returned from his little adventure, private adventure, I guess. The centaurs are fine. You did hear some noises and are pretty sure that those like caverns aren't completely emptied of anything. Like there's still stuff in there.
Yeah, I was like standing guard. Was there
Yeah.
anything that like I saw or did anything?
Peeked around the
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Pseudo Squigs came back just fucked up. Like,
Yeah, like he did definitely end up, in some sort of something.
he said there was an array of monsters back there, a lot of them.
He did definitely tell you something about. I'm trying to think of what I did say. I think Bad Dogs was in there.
Yeah, because
Um,
he's not super
I'm
intelligent, but
hearing
we can
head
communicate.
to the smithy.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
he kind of definitely didn't like. I would say it's one of those things where, yeah, I mean, he was fast, really fast, and you sent him out there, and he did scout a lot, and he came back, and he was not very happy about. Like he was probably quite happy to be back in a group and, not alone against whatever he faced.
He's just the goodest boy.
You good little boy.
Boy.
Good little boy.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
So
I
I
mean,
was just-
I hate to do it, but I don't have any sense of a direction. So where are we going?
Well, we go that way.
We're going wherever our hearts take us.
Oh yes, we're headed south. Or
I would know which direction we're supposed to go, right?
Yeah, you kind of did go in the right direction, and the description of the forge was that it is also by the river and also close to a waterfall. Like they
So-
did tell you by the big falls.
So would we be able to assume that this isn't the right falls because these aren't super big, or are these the right falls?
They are pretty big. It's very hard to tell without knowing if there's any bigger ones. Those are really they're really impressive.
Are the centaurs still around, or are they gone? Because like we just finished talking to him. Could I like flag him back down and be like, "Are these the biggest waterfalls around here? Like a big forge of some sort?"
um,
Because I did ask them like if they
yeah,
knew about the forge.
yeah, they didn't quite know about the forge. Like it's probably not their specialty either.
I mean, a
Um,
waterfall wouldn't be hard to spot. I could send my
mhm,
familiar hundreds of feet in the air, and you could look through its eyes.
yeah,
All right.
Be able
Yeah,
to
let's
that
do
would
that.
tell.
actually. All right.
I'd set the horses up and get them all tied back up, and then I would,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
All
I'd
right.
have to burn my last second level spell slot, but it'll be worth it.
All right.
Yeah,
Uh.
I'll summon my familiar and have it fly as I'll wait until he does his beast sense or whatever it is, and then I'll have it fly as high as it
Mhm.
can without
All
taking
right.
damage,
Yeah.
or I guess not being able to see.
I guess. Well, it's really your perception then, Esther. That would count most, I guess.
Yeah.
You're actually just using the other eyes. So just roll a perception check to see how that goes.
Great start to the night.
Middle of the road. Um, the bird flies up and kind of spirals up, and there's definitely the big waterfall underneath you, and you do see that it kind of has some somewhat contributing little very thin ones that come from the mountains kind of to the it's a bit like a canyon, and to the left and the right of the river there are some places where there's like small waterfalls, not as big as this one though. um and there is kind of another step to this one that is quite like that isn't quite a waterfall because it's not high enough. Like you do see that kind of as the bird hasn't really like gone that high up either at that point. It just kind of is like seeing a little bit further down the stream, I guess, or up the stream actually. Um, and there is one more kind of step to the same waterfall. It's just not as high, and it's just visible as pretty much just white water.
Can I walk over and pat Esther on the back and be like, what does your heart tell you, Esther? As I cast guidance on him,
Okay,
can I do that? Give him the D4.
sure, yeah. I'll totally
Yeah.
let you do that. That just just fits. So yeah, that's another two. As he kind of,
All right.
you know, touches your shoulder, and you you think about, okay, well, maybe I'll just look around. You don't see another waterfall. What you do see though is that to pretty much the like southwest of you, from where you currently are, there's quite a lot of forest and mountains in that direction. And you do see a kind of familiar shape pretty far off, but you kind of just spot it and you kind of think, oh, I know this. Um, there's something else flying a long way off, but you're now high enough up in the air to just make out a flying being that you think you might have seen before. Like that kind of triggers something in you. Just
Smells like dragon.
oh, that's familiar in some way.
Is there a check I could do to try and recall it, like history or survival or something like that, or insight?
You know what? Make an insight check, but you basically do it against yourself. Like you're trying to insight yourself.
Yes, it was the slowest rotation ever. It was on a
Wow.
run. I was like, "You son of a
Yeah.
bitch, keep on
Nice.
going."
Dude, nice.
You are sure that the reason why it kind of rings a bell with you is that it definitely just the way it flies looks very dragon-like,
Called
and it
it.
just kind of brings you back to
Yeah.
We
that
called it,
dragon you
chat.
have
We
seen
called it.
before in the distance. It probably means that just from just distance-wise, you would be aware that it probably means that it isn't quite as far off as you would think, because it's if it is that dragon, it's said to be smaller than a regular dragon
Mm-hmm.
of its shape.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it is not possible for you to tell how far or how close it really is. It's far enough off that it definitely would take some time to get to you though. Like it's not really close,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but you just
And
see it circling.
so, all right, I'm trying to reason this in my head. So we haven't traveled for a whole day to get to where we're at now, correct?
No, you kind of traveled. Well, it was a day, but it wasn't up until it was really dark. So you took probably, well, you left kind of in a hurry, I guess. um, and they told you would take a day, and you took about like 6 to 7 hours. But
Okay.
it wasn't
But we
like
were also
so.
on horseback, which is
Hmm.
probably different than how they normally traveled.
Also, a few
Um,
gods told you would take a day, so.
yeah, that's also. I was like, we were on horseback, but they're also gods, so I don't know how
Yeah.
fast they move.
Well, they
Um,
also were unsure. To be fair, they like tried to gauge how
yeah.
fast you
I
would
mean,
be.
the instructions were to follow the river north. It's a day of travel. It's by a
Hmm.
waterfall, and the entrance is hidden by the mists of the waterfall. Was
Yeah.
this entrance hidden by the mists of the waterfall?
Well, you went kind of through the
Yeah.
waterfall to get here,
It was hidden by
Does
the
like
waterfall.
to
And
the.
yeah, we might be where we're supposed to be.
does I mean if Soren says that out loud,
Mhm.
Sherwin is like, well, I can
We'll
swim,
definitely say that out loud.
and yeah, I'd probably just swan dive off.
Ride it back into the water.
Yep,
Wait, I think.
yep.
Hold on, Truett. I think where we were
Oh,
before
Sherwin's
maybe might
gone.
be that. Okay.
Wait, did he say Soren says dive? Because if Soren says, then you gotta do it.
I am Soren.
And I'm just looking deeply at Soren. I'm just staring
Okay.
at him like hunched over.
So Sherwin just jumped off the cliff, like from the top. I guess you would probably like, there's a little path underneath, so you'll
I
jump
mean,
forward
yeah,
to avoid it.
that's the
Just for
goal.
the fun of it, could you just kind of make an athletics check to see how if you can push
I
off far enough?
certainly can.
While
With
I guess
And
Solomon is
you
now
said the
staring at Soren.
a with a twinkle in my eye, I am going to look at Solomon and say, Soren says, go take a bath, wash your armor really good, get behind your ears, and come back in 30 minutes or so.
That means jump! And I'm gonna do it too.
What?
So Sharon really
The smell's getting
jumped off
horrible. Am I the
very
only one?
gracefully, actually.
Perfect
um,
swan turtle
yeah,
dive.
yeah, pretty much. If
Oh my
if it
god.
wasn't for the shell, you would actually be. Oh, great! This is great. If it weren't for the shell, you wouldn't even make a big splash at the bottom. Not that it matters much because everything is splashing. It's a waterfall. Solomon, I guess you're kind of trying to
Uh-oh.
just like do the bomb move after him, just
Cannonball.
tucking in your knees,
Can opening.
uh, and you kind of hit something. Like you're kind of grazing it. You still go all the way down into the water, but yeah, it
Oof.
you catch a little bit of the lip there, and it
Yeah.
hurts.
Yeah.
All the lip.
let's
Kissed by the
let's
um,
say
cliff.
It's
So I have no
really
idea
bad.
any of this is happening.
You take 4 points of damage from that.
All right.
You're probably
Where
just
is
busy,
Esther?
you know, getting
Yeah,
the
well, it's
parts
because I
sent
can't.
to.
I can't hear, see, or
Yeah,
any of that stuff
you're
of what
just
you guys are
yeah.
doing.
You're
Like, because
over
You
I'm
by
can
the
still in
only
bird form,
Can
and
you
we
so
can
I would
can we
probably
like
look
what
at yeah.
can we retcon this that I do a full
I,
belly flop
You can.
or 4 points
mean,
damage from a belly flop?
it's basically fall damage that are rolled, so just from 10
Yes.
feet though. But yeah.
Cool. I bob back up out of the water and I'm just like,
Mhm.
Sharon, was it good?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Perfect.
I'm
I'm talking to Esther in
so
her body, even though I know Esther's not there. I was so close to getting to take a bath. Just like
Almost. Yeah, almost there.
you
I
would
mean, you said
randomly
take a
hear me
bath. If
say,
you said anything other than
"Go
water,
south
I
with the
would not
bird."
have done it.
you I mean by now it's just two of you up there and the others are down
Well,
in the
I
water.
thought neither. I thought none of us were up there because I said that I was going to go set the cart up down at the
Yeah.
bottom of the thing, and
Yeah,
Soren
the
was
thing
with
is the
me in order
cart.
to do all the bird casting and stuff and all
Yes.
that. So I
it
don't
would
know
take
why,
a while.
like, how we were all at the top of the things.
I sent it to
The
the
cart
bottom.
is
I could have
above
run around and jumped.
the actual caverns. You
yeah, the cart was
took a
up.
like there is a path that leads down and is kind of it's a bit like it's not very hidden to get down to that entrance that you went, but it is kind of going it at some point it looks like it just cuts off because it meets the waterfall, but it does kind of tuck underneath it instead of
Yeah,
just stopping.
I thought we climbed up from the cart
But
Yeah,
you
me
to the
too.
you
waterfall.
climbed
That's
no you
Yeah, because
climbed
I remember
No,
down.
we
them
climbed up.
climbing. No, they climbed up the thing to get to the
They
thing, and
climbed
we just
up
walked up a
because
path.
yes, you just walked down a path. They climbed up. So it's
Regardless, I kind
the
of love the
caverns as a
idea of like
between the
50
water
yards of
and
running before we jump off. So like Soren was like, take a bath. I'm
yeah.
like, all right, and start running.
Yep.
You're like, God damn. I'm
I
just
mean, yeah,
like,
the cart wasn't right at the edge of the waterfall, so yeah, you would have, had a bit of a run at least. But the path leads down towards like the halfway-ish point of the waterfall in height. While the ones that jumped, they will have to climb up because the water is going further down.
I'm trying to reach the bottom. Like if it's under the mist,
Okay.
that
Yeah.
I'm trying to go as far under as I can get.
Okay.
And
I'm
Yeah.
gasping for air at the surface of the water. I just
Yeah.
knocked the fucking wind out of me.
um, Sherwin, you can either it's gonna be with disadvantage if you're trying to perceive anything, like just looking at stuff, and because there's hardly any distance and the water splashing down is just creating so much, just white water there.
Hmm.
Um, or if you're trying to just dive down and actually more like feel for stuff, then that is depends on how far down you go first, and then it'll be just investigation.
Um, it's either investigation or a perception at disadvantage.
Yeah, pretty much.
We're going perception at disadvantage. Let's go.
All right.
Oh, the cojones on this one. All right.
Oh, and that one.
And an 8. I mean, your perception is pretty good, but there is the waterfall pretty much right behind you, and you're trying to kind of, go under the water and look around, and the water just kind of keeps pushing you from behind, and you kind of get caught in the current a little bit.
Sharon, that's
So
me
you look
balls.
around and you
Ah,
basically see water, but not much more. Like it's very obvious that it is hard to see down there.
I know they mentioned a dragon, but stop dragging me nuts on your head. That's just, come on now.
I'm uh,
Nice.
I'm sorry. What? I couldn't hear nothing.
Nothing. I'm still out of breath.
I I
Just
I,
All right.
I don't think it's down here.
nobody can know about this showing. Nobody can know.
Why? Why?
While
Why?
the other two actually are trying to, find out stuff.
Why is there a lump on my head?
There were two lumps just a second ago.
Oh, I feel them. I feel
Mhm.
there's one right here. There's another one clear over here on the top.
um,
Teabag from hell.
Esther, you kind of get the bird to fly a little bit, closer in the direction, like southwestern direction, uh, without anybody else really knowing why. Um, it becomes a little bit more obvious that you're at least far away enough that unless you give that dragon any reason to get closer, it doesn't look like it will get closer. It looks like it's
I'm
kind of
trying to bait the
crisscrossing.
dragon back to us by
Yeah,
flying the bird
it's.
up to it and then
Mhm.
having him, like, telling him when
Yeah,
to make the bird come back.
yeah.
Like,
You realize that it would, like, the bird would have to fly quite a bit to get there, probably. Even if the dragon is quite small, it's a it's not it's probably around a mile off ish. It's a very rough estimate. Um, but it would be like it's too far to just kind of get the dragon to get over here in any like in a short amount of time. You would need to actually do some like try something else. It also looks a little bit as you're kind of concentrating on that dragon figure. It looks like it is actually hunting. Like it does those typical like searching for prey circles around the area that it's currently in. And it does seem to like, look for something. It's just looking more towards the forest. So if you wanted to bait it with something, you would probably need a bit of a like a either kind of a bigger bird or something, or possibly some other thing that might get it to come over your direction. Right now it does seem to be kind of busy. You see it dive every now and like 2 or 3 times. It kind of does like a half dive and then decides not to and comes kind of back up.
hmm. All right.
So it's currently distracted enough that it won't react to the bird, which I don't know if it's more like a kestrel something or something smaller
It's a
or something
raven.
bigger than that. But yeah, it's big enough to technically maybe be noticed, possibly.
Well, I mean, the
Uh,
goal was to fly it like right up next to it and
yes,
then have it run
yeah.
away back towards us.
How long how far away can your raven be without you losing like contact with it, Soren? Like, do you have a way to
I
like
can
do
give
it
it
for a mile
instructions.
or a bit
No, I can
longer?
give it instructions up to like 100 feet, and after that, it can
Mm,
follow those instructions, but it's on its own.
yeah. So I think the
Oh,
problem would
okay.
be that it's not
So
you
yeah,
guiding it.
if I could tell it what to do, then we
Yeah.
could do it
Yeah.
definitely.
I could
I
tell
need
it.
one. I need one
I
more
could tell it.
spell, and then
I could tell it
Yeah.
to fly over to that dragon, but I can't
Yeah.
like give it minute to minute instructions unless I go with
Yeah.
it.
It might then just be, end up as a snack, and that's pretty much how you get it back.
yeah.
I'll just have to recast it.
Yeah, I would just at that point in time I would come out and look around and notice that it's just Soren. I'm like,
Yep.
God damn it! What? Where did they go this time?
They jumped in the water. I was thinking back over what they said. I was wondering if this place might be what we were looking for. It's hidden
Oh,
by the
it is
midst
the
of the
biggest
waterfall.
waterfall in the area, by
Yeah,
far. There's
and the
also a
entrance
dragon
to
about a mile to our south.
the cave that we went into before to save the centaurs was hidden by mist of the waterfall. We're around a day travel away, so it does kind of add up. But when I said that they jumped into the waterfall, I think they're looking in the mist. I don't know.
Hey, look, they're not the brightest bulbs in the package,
No,
and so it's
no,
understandable.
yeah, yeah. They should
Also,
never
if you
go
did
off.
realize when we were in there, the way that we didn't go was constructed stone. There was a constructed stone entryway, and actually, my uh, companion would still be here. He lasts for an hour.
Yeah.
Um,
Put
so
him on the
I
map
guess
too.
I asked him about enemies, but I guess I would ask him if he'd seen anything like a
Maybe.
forge, kind of like scratch it
Oh,
onto the ground, like
we
kind of
don't use
draw
the
it
F
onto the
word.
ground.
Okay.
Oh yes. Well, they're not here.
We
It's
don't
all
use
right.
the F word.
So they're not here right now, so it's okay. We know what we're talking about. So I kind of like scratch it onto the ground,
Uh-huh.
like a rough design of what a forge looks like or a smithy looks like. But like, did you see anything like this? Oh, when you were running around out there?
Um, what would you like? What does your sketch focus on? What does it look like? Just in roughly, in like, which detail do you try to
I
get across
would
most?
I would focus on the smelter. I would focus on the smelter, like the with the bellows on the side and the big like
Mm-hmm.
dome where you put so the smelter itself, because like the other forging and all that stuff that might have like decomposed over time or something like that. But I know that the
Yeah,
smelter is a very large stone structure,
and
and if he
probably
was using
sturdy.
it to forge
Yeah.
god level weapons, then it's
Uh-huh.
most likely still and yeah, so it's probably still good. So
Yeah.
I would probably draw that out like in a
If I see that you're trying to draw that out, I'll use prestidigitation to create an illusion of a forge in my palm.
Okay. Um,
I'd be like, yeah, that.
Just
Squeaks
this might be
just kind
easier.
of looks at like both of it. First at your drawing, then as you say, yeah, like that. Looks over. Kind of cocks his head a little bit, and it's more like a no, not really. Uh,
I'll
trying
change
to
it to
make
an
sense of it,
anvil.
but
I'll change it to an anvil, and what about that?
uh, he's still kind of like you see a certain. There's kind of an uncertainty to his answer, and he kind of just wishes around really quickly, just in front of you, um, to probably just tell you, well, I was really quick when I was in there, and he does doesn't seem to have seen like anything like that, and then he just kind of sits down on the ground and makes a big
I'm an
irregular
artist.
circle just with a cloth.
I'd be like, so you saw something like that in there?
He just nods.
This is a long shot, but I'll
Well,
make an illusion of silver fire in my hand. Does this look familiar? I think the prophecy said something about silver fire.
he he like shakes his head. He's
Hmm.
positive he hasn't seen anything like that.
was your circle up off the ground or set into the ground?
Like he's drawing it on the ground, and as you kind of keep asking, he starts kind of digging out the middle a little bit, just
Or like a big
Okay.
hole or a pit.
and
All
just
right,
kind of
like a hole.
points at it and just looks at it.
Now, was there anything that looked like it was bricks or made?
Yes.
Like, all right.
Immediately.
So, thank you very much. You have earned yourself a rest. You have a good one. I'll see you again next time. And I just like
Yeah,
pat him down his back, and then he just
and
disappears.
he poofs. Nice. Yep. All right. So, yep, that's that info. uh, what's happening down in the water?
Probably not much, honestly.
Just kind
Yeah.
of splashing around. Are you
Well,
like is
I mean, with
Solomon
a
not
one,
actually
I'm
watching?
gonna say like I'm not having a great time after belly flopping into this. I thought
Yeah.
it'd be cool, but I'm probably
Yeah.
swimming back towards the shore.
Mm-hmm.
Remember,
Probably
Soren
hungry.
says clean.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna like grab a rock and start like scrubbing it in my
Not
armpit.
what? You're gonna hurt yourself. Here, hold on. I'll toss you down some soap. Don't lose
Uh,
it.
and when you
So
throw
you're
it,
throwing a piece of soap like over
Oh
the
yeah, I'm totally
ledge
just
to.
tossing down a bar of soap.
Okay.
I'll swim
Okay.
after it, and I'll to shore, and I'll go. Wow, Soren just aggressively dropped the soap.
Is that why I got this lump on my head?
I mean, it's you're. Might you might need this, and I'm gonna hand the soap to Sherwin.
Okay. Squeak. Yeah.
I brought
So.
my own, and I'm gonna use the rock. No need.
All right.
Need here. One with moss. No.
Oh, that's
I
beautiful.
mean, one moss would be at least a little bit softer, I guess.
And then
This is this thing's falling apart.
I'm gonna swim around for a bit and do
Mhm.
like the squirty hands at Sherwin for a little while, and then go back to shore and
Mhm.
shake off like a dog, of course, because
Yeah,
I'm not an idiot. And
definitely.
then I'm gonna be like, all right then. So Soren, next time, say something that like, maybe doesn't result in me getting hurt. No. All right, that works. See, that's called progress. That's called progress.
Yeah.
All right. So, do we want to do like a rest? I could take a rest. I got some spell slots that I could count back, and I pull up my foot and start counting my toes. Think I need about this many minus one other foot. I don't know, but I could take a rest and get some things back. Or are we going back into here? Are we going out there? Should I jump in the
Man,
water
there
again?
we go. I could use a rest. I don't particularly need it real bad, but I could definitely use one.
It's kind of turning to evening, like slowly-ish. It's not like it's you kind of feel that it's getting to, later afternoon. It's still a nice day though. Like it's still definitely bright enough to see everything, and it's just kind of the sun's going lower and will at some point in the not too far future probably also dip behind some of those mountains around you. Um, but right now it would be early to call it a day right now, but you probably could. You just have to figure out a like camping situation.
So we do some hunting or something, so we can
Yeah,
get some.
I was gonna say, um, I can go
We
out on
already
a
hunt
hunt.
a bunch of things in the cave. We could always drag those out, and I'll eat it.
I ain't eating that shit.
Well, I never said we have to eat their poop. Just mean that we eat them.
Those things looked nasty.
If
They
it has a
didn't smell
language,
nice.
can we just agree
To
not
each their
to eat it?
own. I'm gonna go find myself a deer though.
Yeah, if it, I just would like to throw out my 2 cents on this whole thing. Maybe if it talks, we don't eat it, and if it doesn't talk, then we'll eat it.
You don't talk.
But it doesn't. I'll take the deer. That sounds like a great idea, Esther.
Great idea. Sorry.
Guys, my eyes hurt.
But
Oh god damn. Rub some
Guys,
sand in them.
guys, is anybody down here?
Clean them out. Rub some sand in it.
hurry up and rinse off and get up here. Bring my soap back.
Oh, sorry. I never asked. Do I need to make a climb check or something? My bad. I just moved my guy.
You have two options. There is a way to get to like a almost level shore where you could climb up, but it means that you would have to like swim there, which you can do. It'll
Yeah,
just,
I'd probably do
you know,
that.
yeah. So you're kind of taking the long way around.
Ye-
Yeah, that way
Was
you don't
swimming
have to
around.
climb. Yeah, you
I'll
kind of
do that.
swim to where it gets,
Do I
everything
have to
just
do
levels
any
off.
check for that, or am I okay to just?
No, it's just a swim, and you're not swimming towards the waterfall. You're swimming away from it, and the currents here are, there is it's some rapids, but not where you are. Like, yeah, you're kind of avoiding that. The one thing that really can get you, and especially if you're really not good at swimming, is trying to swim underneath the waterfall. Really,
Boy, yeah, I'm gonna say with my natural one. Sorry, I'm not. I don't. I'm not sure why I'm still talking that voice. Yeah, with a natural one, I'm probably just just going around.
yeah.
Um, I'd probably re-unhook the horses then if we're gonna stick here and make camp. Uh, hobble them back up in the spot that we had them, and
Hmm.
probably make camp right there next to
Nice
them.
patch of grass. Yep.
Yeah,
And I
nice
have
The
patch
this
of
good thing
grass,
axe.
about
look at the
having the
trees.
mist around is that it's nice grass. Yeah.
I have this axe. We could just eat one of these horses. Or do those talk too?
Or
We worked hard for those horses
I mean, they
Yeah.
technically don't talk.
for like 5 minutes,
Probably just better than
but like
them.
we need the horses. I like the horses.
Just pull the
They're
axe out.
useful. Don't worry, I'll go get us some food. And he just
Just holding it up.
finishes hobbling the horses, picks up his bow,
hmm.
slings it. Come on, Squigs, let's go get something to eat. And then just heads
Okay.
off into the woods.
All right.
All right. Yeah.
Put the
Can
axe down.
Yeah.
can
What does everybody else do?
so I have hold breath that I can use,
Yes.
so I can hold my breath for up to an hour at a time.
Yeah.
Can I just
Shit.
drop the soap and go to the bottom and start looking for the soap, or or anything that, like, do an investigation instead of my perception that I did earlier?
You can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just tending to camp, so I'm like setting up camp,
Yeah.
fire, all that stuff. I'm doing that. So.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Just.
Awesome.
I
Perfect.
mean,
Soap dropped you, dog.
Yeah.
Soap dropped
the
you,
thing
dog.
about the soap is it's probably like a very classic kind of bar of soap that's made out of a lot of fat, so it'll swim up, which you don't notice.
No, not
It'll
at all.
stop at the top while you kind of dive down, determined to find the piece of soap and possibly other things. And you dive down, and it does definitely feel like it is a little bit to the bottom. Um, it's pretty like there is a point where it gets quite dark, and you do find the bottom though. Like you rummage around a little bit, and you do have a lot of time down there.
Yes.
So it's quite fine sand, especially getting being close to the waterfall. That makes the sand even a little bit softer, a little bit finer ground.
I'm,
Um,
I'm just down there.
kind of,
My
yeah.
strawberry is going to be
You don't definitely don't find the soap. Um,
Can turtles drown, Solomon? He hasn't come up for air in a really long time.
I'm
yeah.
chopping wood, and I just look back with a huge axe, by the way. like just busting shit, and I just turn around and go, nope,
Just
they can't,
smothering that.
and I just keep going back to work.
What?
Can't, no, they can't drown.
I think I was the only one in the group that knows that he can stay underneath water for hella long.
Oh, they can never drown.
You
They can
probably
stay
do.
under there forever.
Yeah, you're probably aware.
But I'm also probably not.
That is also true. Yeah.
I've been rubbing these sticks together for a really long time and nothing's happening.
Oh yeah, you don't need to do that, and I'll just light it with my tinder kit.
All right. Yeah. Oh, that's perfect. So yeah,
Can't you just
Yeah.
cast
Fire going.
fire?
Soren, yeah, what kind of wizard?
He
You don't. This
did.
is a camp. This
like,
is a
he
camp
has
trip.
Fireball.
This is a camp trick.
I
You don't have any camp tricks?
I blast it with
Free to
firebolt
cast.
and just scatter wood all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
And I like put my hands up. I'm like, Orion, very sorry. I didn't mean to make you mad. Look, you said you didn't want to kill the horses, right? I'm really close to
It's
them.
all I got. It's all I got.
It's pretty good. It's a good trick. Good trick.
I just imagine the fireball so fresh in the mind of.
Like
Just-
terrifying.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit! Just
No,
fucked with
man,
the wrong
that's
dude.
true. Last time I used this spell, it got a little out of hand.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it left your hand. Shit. Yeah, don't worry about Sher when I go back to chopping, smoldering wood. He'll be fine. Besides, turtles they are born in the water, they live in the water, and I heard they can never come out.
But we met him out of the water.
Oh shit! Fuck me, we should go check on him.
Perfect. I mean, yeah, I mean, Sherwin, you don't find anything down there. The only thing that does happen at some point, just roll a d4.
Okay.
I'm gonna jump in. You're gonna take another ball sack to the head, dude.
That's a 1.
That's the one. So you kind of start almost like digging through some of the dirt, and there's some shells and stuff down there, and you realize that as you cut yourself on one of them.
Oof.
You take 5 points of
Oh
just.
shit!
It's probably as much psychic
That's
as just slashing damage.
That's a full on crab.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, on the finger.
Yeah.
Waterfall crab. Oh,
Yeah.
those things are pissed.
Yep. Something you don't even see it because you're at this point not quite disoriented, but you're having a really hard time. Like you're getting just this is just you don't see really well. It's all this swirly water around you. You're just getting frustrated, and then something just slices your hand.
I'd
Like the palm is
just go immediately into my shell and float up to the top.
okay. Perfect. So yep, you float up.
Oh,
and
don't jump in. I think I see him.
yeah, it's not.
Oh,
you
that's a
kind of
rock.
do
Oh no,
see
that is him. Holy shit!
Yep. So yeah, it's like well, the thing is,
Can I
you see a
wade into the
shell.
water and go get him? Yeah, I'm gonna. Can I go get him?
Yeah, it'll
'Cause we're worried.
pretty
We
much
came out here
take
to
you
look for him.
back to where you came from, but yeah,
Do you
you're-
want me to roll anything for that?
you're strong enough. You will figure it out. At worst, it takes you a little bit. Like it will probably take you, somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes. If you roll really shitty, it would be 10. So it doesn't really make a lot of a difference.
Yeah, but I do want to
Um,
roll for something.
You can definitely roll.
No,
and if
I
want to
see if I
roll
can
something. It would be
if I-
athletics.
I wanted to roll to see if I could spot the soap.
Okay. Well, in that case, it would be a perception check to see if you can find it.
Not bad.
18 is really good, and there's this. The good thing about the soap is that it's kind of like foaming and being kind of worked by the currents, so it does actually leave like an island of soap
Oh,
scum
I
on
see.
the
It's like
top of
slutty.
it. So you kind of, yeah, it has been like it's now about half the size it was, but you can
Gotcha.
save the piece of soap as well.
I'm gonna grab it. I want to bring it up and hand it to Soren and be like, "Drop this."
Wait, no, I'm not gonna drop it. I'm gonna put it away. Why is it halfway gone? Sure, it better be really clean.
I ate a little
Mm-hmm.
bit of it. But
You ate a
here it
little
is.
bit of it.
Yeah,
My,
a little bit. You said, I mean, I
What?
haven't brushed my teeth in a long time, so I had to clean my teeth. But here you go.
I was hoping you'd clean your armor too. Everywhere we go, you get covered and stuff.
I like
Oh yeah, no, it's
I like come out
good.
of
You
my
got the face
shell,
going.
Uh-huh.
and you notice that my head is just like shiny clean.
Oh yeah,
Hey, you're looking sharp.
that beautiful.
He's
You're
also
looking sharp.
bleeding from. You
Yeah,
can decide which hand it
m-
was.
yeah,
Left
Oh,
or
my
right,
I'm
but
carrying him back. I'm carrying
You
him
got a
back.
huge gash on your hand.
yeah, my face is very pouty, and I'm like
Mhm.
holding up my little finger, and I'm just like, I mean, I've been looking for like a turtle with like a pouty lip image on the internet for a long time, and I can't find one because they don't have lips. But if I did,
yeah.
it would be very, very puffy bottom lip right now, as I'm just like looking at my finger, like, what is this with a shiny ass dome?
Yeah, well, I'll carry you back to camp. We're going back to camp, and when we get back to camp, I'll set him up. I'll just put him down by the fire to warm up, and I want to go through more of this wagon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there's a way to get like a quick inventory of this, but I mean, okay, let me explain exactly what's going on. I am a
Okay.
tavern brawler, so
Yes.
if you have a list of shit, I could probably
Yeah.
use half of it.
Yes. Yeah. Um. I mean that is basically what like you do find a lot of stuff that is um fancy clothing and stuff like that. That is.
How about this? Can I send you a list of a wish list of stuff I want, and you tell me if it's in there or
You
not
can
while they all
definitely,
do their
yeah,
thing?
give me a wish. Yeah, sure. Give me a wish list.
Yeah.
I mean, I do have
So
a
yeah,
list of very random stuff, but it's very random, so
I
Just
mean,
for
if you
role play
have a
I'll
list,
kind
that's
of
purposes.
fine.
compare it to that list. Just
I
like
just don't want to make
tell
you
me
like
basically
come
what
up
you're
with something.
looking for, and I'll
A
tell you
bunch
if
of
it's on there.
if you have a list, you can message me. That's great.
All
If
right,
not, I'll tell you things that I was like hoping for,
I'll get you the list then.
and I'll tell you right
If,
now, none of it's cool. It's like a tea kettle. It's like
that's what I was gonna
fancy
say.
spoons.
If I see him doing anything like the tea kettle,
Mm-hmm.
any kind of cups, like anything that we could use, I'm gonna take
Yeah.
a box set aside, and as he sets some of those aside, I'm gonna grab them and put them in a box so we could use those, just for
All
like
right.
role play,
I'm trying
making
to.
camp, whatever. Like if we're gonna be
I'm.
using this cart, we're gonna need tools. You can't throw everything at somebody.
No, I'm literally looking through this thing for weapons, like the way that Solomon
Yeah.
uses weapons, like a fucking
Yeah.
tea kettle in a fucking fight, dude. That's what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right.
Anyways, other people can do their thing, but that's what I'm doing. I can't. Now the
I'm
fire's
trying to
set and all
save
that.
the Timmy's favorite dad mugs and stuff so we can use those for around the campfire later.
All right. Cool.
Timmy's
Meanwhile, I'm
dad
like
is a
blowing
goddamn
things out
dead
and
man. He
hitting them
just don't
against
know
my
it
head.
yet.
Like taking things out and hitting things against my head to see if they're sturdy and like, all right, that's pretty good. Put that in the keep pile.
Yep. Perfect. Um, you set all that up, and you look through. I'll send you the list in like a little bit,
Yeah, you're fine.
and you can just look through whatever suits your needs. Um.
Or something. Somebody was something, dude.
Oh yeah. I I think I know at least two of them. Um.
Yes.
You will, you're kind of setting stuff up now. Do you like, you did light a campfire. Um, Esther, you went hunting. Just out of figuring, oh, that's a great picture.
That's me just holding my boo boo.
you're Esther is uh, going hunting, so just roll a d20, and we'll
I got a
see
21 survival check.
from. Yeah, you'll do that in just a bit. I just need the d20 for something related, and then you can do survival.
Awesome.
So you can also just roll both that like right next to each other. It's fine.
Dope.
Okay. And then roll your survival.
You want me to roll it again?
Yeah, that's I'll do that as the thing I needed to know before you rolled survival. So yeah, the next one is survival.
Oh, that was way worse.
Oh wow. Okay. So you realize quite quickly, trying to find some tracks and stuff, that the area is weirdly devoid of animals you could hunt. Like you see some tracks, but those are definitely not deer tracks. Um, and you have a really hard time finding something to actually hunt. Um, I'll say you do like find a few like small animal tracks, things like squirrels and probably a weasel or two somewhere. Um, but anything like the usual game that you would hunt would take you quite some time. So, yeah, if you want to decide to just go a bit deeper into the forest and just take longer, then that's what you would have to do. It looks like there's nothing all that close by that would work as, you know, as good food for the party.
I mean, I'd probably try my luck for a little while because I know
Mm-hmm.
that we have like it's still pretty early.
Yeah, you do like there is enough time. It's just a question of, how far you would want to go into the forest and stuff. Um, so you just kind of go further in and you would find some animals there. It just kind of takes you a pretty long time, longer than you would expect from just looking at the forest.
Yeah, a bit odd, but then also
Yeah.
I haven't told anyone else. I know that the dragon has been hunting this area as well. And then there's also those creatures that have been killing things. I assume that they've been hunting everything near those caves. So he went out expecting there not to be a whole lot in the area, but it is still odd to him that there's nothing
Yeah,
in the dragon
yeah,
city.
yeah. So yeah, it does take you
But
quite
yeah,
some time, but you
he wants to come back with something, so he'll be out.
all right. Okay. So in that case, you do,
Very noble.
just take extra time to get to the actual huntable game. Um, but that works. I mean, you can just use like your survival check is pretty good, so you will find. I guess you just need like a deer or something like that to feed the party for probably a day or two at least,
Fellas, I swear to God, if
depending
Esther comes back with a goat, I'm gonna riot.
oh, that would be like the probably not the natural one in survival, but close to it.
I'd eat it.
I didn't get a natural one and survive,
No, you did
and I
get
wouldn't have
the
eaten
one
the
at
goat
some.
anyways. It'd just be our.
Yeah.
No for me.
All right. So I just made kind of a very, very crude little map for you to kind of call your campsite. it might not like it's possible that you want the kind of the size to be bigger, but just so you have a rough idea, there's the water on one side, the waterfall itself, kind of there's kind of a hill, kind of a ramp thing going on to the north of this, where you have where the water actually kind of rushes down from the you know from the upper part of the waterfall down into a obviously quite deep little well waterfall lake thing, and then it just continues as a river.
As I'm like out hunting, and he's just like,
And you're
I
just
hope they
way
didn't
in the
fire
forest
really
somewhere.
big. Yeah, it's like, I hope they
Yeah.
didn't make the fire really big. I probably should have told him about that, right?
Yeah, you did. I think like the only one
I
that could
mentioned
know
it
is
off the
Soren, right?
cuff, kind of.
Yes.
Yeah, I mentioned it off the cuff to Soren, but I
Yeah.
don't think he like registered it
All right.
because it was like, oh yeah, what are they doing? I mean, yeah, blah blah blah. We should probably figure out where we're going. Also, there's a dragon out there, but I think this might actually be the place. Yeah, now that you mention it.
Yeah. Yep. So it takes
Soren is
you
currently
like,
warming up around the
longer
campfire
than
while
usual.
Soren is sitting around a campfire, warming his
Yep.
hands and ritual casting Find Familiar to change the familiar to a cat.
All right. Cool. Nice.
Sherwin's just pouting.
Sharon's just sitting there.
All of that is happening with the sounds of an occasional crash as like
As
Solomon
you're
goes through
getting
something. He's
through.
like useless and just throws it and just
And
breaks.
yep. Perfect.
At one point, I would go up to Soren and just, Soren, I have a confession to make.
Ooh.
I, I dropped her soap.
Oh, it's fine.
No, I lost it. I lost it. I dropped
yeah,
it to the bottom of the bottom of the sea down there. It's gone forever. I looked through all the sand. The crab bit my finger. It's gone.
what you didn't know that soap floats?
So, but wait, what?
Soap floats.
So, so it's still down there, just floating around like a little bobber in the water.
No, no. Solomon, whenever he went down there to pick you up out of the water, he found it. He saw it. He gave it to you. And it's
Oh,
somewhere around here. Hold on one second. And I'll go grab my pack and pull it out. Yeah, see?
All right. Yeah, it's still pretty damp on the outside, but it's now getting back to this consistency where it's still a little bit squishy, but you know.
well, that's kind of embarrassing then. I mean,
Well, you're looking nice and clean.
well, thank you. I,
Ready to
I,
start your own church, maybe.
I washed my head off real well.
I mean, that's the part I can see the best, I guess.
And then I hurt my finger.
Oh, you just washed your head?
Well,
Nothing else?
yeah.
Guys, the cart was real funky yesterday. Like,
Well, I mean,
it's a tight space. We're all together. We need to start taking care of these things.
I can't help it. The rumbly that my tummy was making.
It's more than that. I don't think you bathed since the tunnel.
Well, well, that that might that might be true.
I don't think he's bathed since the airship.
Oh, that's
I
no.
I did wash myself in the light of the Creator.
I think
Guys,
maybe I over
prestidigitation only goes so far, guys. We got to use some soap and water occasionally.
You
I
do
think I
hear
might have
some of that, yeah.
I overheard this conversation and go,
Yeah.
Cois, I have a Soren. And I'll put a hand on Soren's shoulder and go, I have a confession to make. You're just getting a lot of these tonight, man. I'm gonna go. I was thinking about it a lot, and dropping the soap. I look in the deep Sherwin's eyes. I go, dropping the soap isn't that bad. Really thought about it. Worst thing you could do, pick it up.
Well,
That's really what.
well, I wanted to pick it up.
That's that's
I have
really
a
where it
lot of
gets.
questions about where you went to Paladin school or whatever that's called. I don't, there was no
Think about it.
bars on
That's where the
windows.
problems. That's where all the problems start. It's not when you
What
drop it. Stay there. It's when you pick it up.
is that wisdom from Bahamut, or did you have bars on your prison Paladin training facility?
Well, I never went to prison. What are you talking about?
I'm just confused.
I would go to the prison sometimes, and I would talk to
I,
people and tell them the good word.
Esther hasn't been back in a while. I wonder if he's got food.
My finger hurts.
I bet when Esther gets back to camp,
Did
he'll
you
have a
ever do
confession to
anything
make.
about that finger, Sherman? Or is it
No,
just
not at all. It's
Oh,
just
I'll
sitting
lay on
there.
hands. I'll lay on hands. Actually, I will 100% lay on hands.
Oh, you're gonna lay your hand on my hand?
Especially when I go, I'm picking it up, and I'm gonna lay on hands, and
nice?
I'll give homeboy here 5 points.
All right.
Oh, well, that looks so much better there. Oh, it looks like my nail's gone though. Must have clipped it right off.
Don't pick it up.
Well, I'm not going
Drop,
back down there. I'll tell you what.
drop the soap. Drop the soap.
Turns his hand over. He's like, "Oh, there it is."
Oh, I guess you guys were in the water that time. I was talking to Esther. I think the cave that we were in earlier to save the centaurs. I think that might be the place we're looking for. Maybe we should go deeper in there tomorrow.
Well, that's what well, that's where we were, and then you said behind the mist. So what was it? I just jumped in the water, and I tell you what, it's
Yeah,
not
you
down
ran.
there.
You went really fast. I didn't really have a chance to follow up on maybe like we were where we needed to be.
Sorry, sorry.
And at that point, I was just trying to go for the bath. Honestly, like it was a long day on the cart.
Sorry, and I'm 69 years old. I'm not moving fast anywhere.
Nice. That's hilarious.
I mean,
As all that happens, Esther,
gravity
you
gravity
do
kind of took
actually,
over it.
you
69
get
didn't
your
really.
deer. We get back.
Awesome. Yeah,
Takes some
come back
time,
into
but
camp.
you do get back.
Esther,
Got it slung
good
over
to
the
see you.
shoulder. Be like, wow, that
Sh-
was a pain in the ass.
I'll help him. I'll go over and help him start cleaning. But be like, hey, hey, we're just doing confessions with Soren. You got a confession to make to
I have a
Soren?
confession to make. I do.
All right,
I do.
here it goes. Here it comes.
Uh, it was really hard to get this deer. And also, there's a dragon that was about a mile away flying around.
Wait,
Didn't
what? So
tell
you put out
anybody
a
because I
fire?
wanted to meet it. Oh no, we just. Oh shit, you guys made a really big fire. We should. Here, I'll fix that.
Yeah.
Somebody truss up this deer, and I'll go over and I will alter the fire to where it is a stealth fire. Like basically, what
Okay.
like how you do is you make the fire, you dig out the bottom of the fire
Yeah.
pit so it's down in the ground, and then you just put a
Mhm.
slab of rock on one side of the fire and push the coals up under the side so you can still cook on it and everything and use it. But it's not a big roaring fire. So basically, I just dig a hole next to the fire, kick the fire into the hole, and then like put a big
Okay.
rock.
I'm hoisting the deer up while it's bleeding. I'm like, oh no, my fire. No.
I
All right.
just got you clean.
Oh, yep. Oh, it pissed and shit all over me. Oh, oh no. Uh. Oh.
Like
Yep.
Solomon, do you know how to do that?
Solomon
Yes,
laid on
I
my
got.
hand.
I got all dirty again. Hey, Soren, can I use
What?
the rest of your soap?
Wait,
Oh
what
my
are you
god,
gonna
what
use
is
it
even
for?
going on?
Can I
I'll
eat
take
the
care of
rest?
the
I
deer
got
too.
dirty.
Just put it on the ground.
Oh, all right.
I put my hand on the ground.
Expertly start to fucking quarter the deer.
Uh-huh. Okay. Nice. Um yeah, so you're just all busy doing these things and, doing
Doing hunter stuff. Like
hunter stuff, butchering the deer, getting I mean, the fire is smaller. It'll take longer to cook stuff on it, or you will have to like have smaller portions, pretty much, to get them to cook
That's what the
evenly.
rock's for.
Yeah, so you can still heat stuff up around it, and it's just all a little bit limited, but fine, it works. Um,
We're gonna go with skewers. Wait, did we get any skewers in that thing? Maybe some metal steak.
I was look. I didn't see any skewers. I saw some extra blankets and stuff.
You get anything? I see you guys go through there. We get anything worth any money in that?
I'll tell you later.
To be
you will you
continued.
will find out. Yeah. Um, Although I
Indeed.
can tell you that he does not find, like, there's not a bag or a box or something of coin. Like, you will not find that.
I feel like they were still stashing the expensive stuff in their houses until like we left, and I probably did get to the most expensive stuff and stole it.
Yeah, there's at least, you did steal some things that look pretty valuable, so it's a good guess to maybe assume that they didn't put their most valuable things onto the cart and just kind of, they had some people watching and stuff, but they might have been more careful about that, possibly. Who knows? It's just you don't.
Because I mean,
There's
obviously
no
their cart
big
wasn't all that
box
sick.
or coin or anything like that. Yeah.
Be like, all right, well, it's gonna take us a little while to cook this up, but yeah, I mostly eat things pretty raw, so however you guys want to do that, he just like cuts a backstrap off and just starts gnawing.
Yeah. Um, the one with the highest passive perception is still Sherwin, or right? That you're the one that's
Uh,
perceptive.
yeah, I got a 17.
Yeah. Um, you do kind of realize as it's getting, like, it's really getting dark now. There's the fire around you guys, so you do have a little bit of light around your fire, but it's it's also trying to not be a big beacon, so it's not that much. Um,
There's a really
but
big part of me that wants to just like go like put my hand on like Esther's backpack
uh-huh.
and cast light on it. So he always thinks it's dark, like because the shadow of his head and everything
Yeah,
is just like in front of him all the time.
you want to go
But then
for
I
that?
but then I can still see. No,
Yeah.
not yet. But it's a thought that's come into
Okay.
my head.
Let us know when it's time. Um, you
Jesus.
you do kind of hear, uh, like, as the day kind of begins to really get darker, as soon as it's definitely more like a twilight situation. Um, the sounds of the forest change, of course. There's still a waterfall close by, so there's that. You also start hearing just very faint noises that are hard to really, like, pinpoint. Um, but it's a lot like some kind of just pattering, and it's somewhere around. It does sound kind of far enough to that you don't think someone is trying to sneak up on you on a in a kind of amateurish way, but you do hear those sounds, and it does take until it's really dark, and you kind of, you think you also hear like something overhead, but it's too dark to see at that point what it might be.
I would say that I am looking straight up for the
Yeah.
dragon. I wanted to say that I climbed a
If you're
tree, but I don't know if
looking,
there's trees nearby. But
there's
like, I am trying to befriend this dragon. Like, I'm
yeah,
going out of my way to like
very
try
much.
and get this
Yeah.
dragon and have a one-on-one talk.
Yeah. If you want to look for specifically the dragon, and if you want to climb a tree, there is a tree, but it's about like probably close to 200 feet away from the camp itself. That is a climbable actual tree and not just a shrub. Um, you're you can absolutely do that, and it'll be, it'll work. You can get up into a tree and then roll perception to see how that works. Um,
Awesome.
Sweet Sans at
Sherwin
nighttime.
still does hear different noises, like above and
Why can I
like
never
around.
roll good?
I
So
Go to sleep.
when we finish eating and we're like ready to lay down, I'll ritual cast Tiny Hut so we can
Okay.
sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I think I would
You
just be staying aware.
okay. Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't really say anything. I don't want to.
Okay.
I don't want to
Yeah.
rock the boat.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm
For
trying to
right now,
get
it's
this dragon to talk to me.
yeah. You're just up in a tree, intently gazing up into the sky, looking for, basically something to either block out the stars so you see the shape that way. Um, but it gets darker and darker, and you just don't seem to see anything. There's a few moments where you think you might like there's a shadow over you, but it must have been a bird because those shadows are way too small.
Every time I
Or
see a
it's
shadow, I'll be
far
like,
off.
"Dragon, come here!" Crap.
Yeah, so you could just kind of call out randomly at random times, and as it gets darker and kind of really turns to night. But you don't actually get the dragon to come that way, sadly. Although that would be really funny. Um, yeah. So you do have the hut. Kind of, it doesn't take forever, so it's while you're trying to lure the dragon towards you, uh, you do get the hut finished, and yeah, you can probably call it a night if you wanted to. If you want to like keep watches, then do that or let me know so we can check that.
As soon as Tiny
I'm
Hut's
gonna
up,
try
I
and
lay
coax
down and
this
pass out.
dragon in. So I'm gonna coax this dragon in until I'm at the absolute limit of how
Alright.
long I can be out without having to sleep. And like, I want
Okay.
to take my long rest like right when like I'm like, okay, now I have to go to sleep, and then I'll go
Okay.
ahead and take a long rest. But I'm
Yeah.
gonna be out there trying to get this dragon to come down as long as I can.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. So that would probably mean that you end up kind of just staying up while the others just go roll out their bedrolls and go to sleep at, I don't know, like some reasonable time, while you just stay up until like, I don't know, at least midnight, probably later, to
Yeah,
maybe
he's completely
figure.
obsessed with dragons. Like,
Yes.
it's his one character flaw.
you just
For him, it's his one
sitting in
character
the
flaw.
tree.
For everybody else, he has plenty. But like,
Yeah. Do you keep like waiting in the tree, or do you want to change position at any point in time? Because that
I
would
think
mean
at some
half
point
an
in
hour.
time, yeah, I think at some point in time he would like he'd be up in the tree and like he'd be as high up as he can be, and then he'd probably like realize, be like, well, I mean, you can't really see me in the tree. I'm a black cat amongst branches, and then he'll just like go find like the middle of the field somewhere,
Uh-huh.
and then stand up there and just like wave up
Right,
at the sky and
dragon
shit.
here, please.
Like,
On the
have
ground.
quit, quit, do some of your like.
But
Yeah. It's just shooting green up into the air. We're just like, dragon,
before
Come
bef-
on.
before
I
Sherwin
know you could.
before Sherwin goes into the tent,
Uh-huh.
into the tent, the into the dome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh I think I would walk over to the tree and just cast Beacon of Hope on Esther.
Okay.
Like just see him like looking out into the sky, and I'm just like,
Here's some hope
I
for
don't
you.
know what you're looking for, but you're doing good, buddy. You're doing good there.
Nice.
It only lasts for a minute, and it only helps
Yeah.
with wisdom saves and death
Yes.
saves.
Yeah.
But it thematically makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you don't know what I'm looking for specifically, but you do know it's probably not.
I mean, I know I heard some shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you
Yeah.
probably have
Yeah,
tried
yeah,
at least once at that point. So,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
He might have heard it. I am a couple hundred feet away, but I'm
It's
not
trying
being
to be
quiet about
loud,
it.
I
I'm
guess.
trying to be
So,
loud
yeah.
enough to hear for the dragon to hear me. So yeah, he
Yeah.
probably heard it.
They would have heard it. He's also really good at perception anyway. So,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, it is Sherwin. So you definitely
Mhm.
heard it like word for word. Like you're like, come here, dragon. I want to talk to you.
I just give you a
Perfect.
little beacon of hope, and then off to bed.
Yeah. All right. So there's the three of you in the tiny hut already. Esther just maniacally calling out dragon every now and then. At some point, when it's pretty late, you kind of climb down from the tree, go to probably far enough away from the waterfall that you might have also a bigger chance of being hurt, and just keep calling
Yeah, I'm
out.
trying to get to like where I would, if I was up in the air, where I'd be able to easily see me and where I could be heard. I'm trying to find like a good location, but still close enough to where if it comes down to it, I can activate my boots, my sprint, and dash
Yeah, which
to get
does
out.
mean you do have quite a range. Um,
Yeah, I'm really fast. Like,
yeah, there definitely is that. Um, yeah. So you try to get the dragon to come and you know do something. Um, like I don't know, like sit next to you and I don't know, just be your friend. Um,
honestly, to interact with me at all right now is what I'm going for, but preferably in a friendly, conversational manner,
yeah,
because I am speaking
yeah.
in Draconic too, which is also another fair point. Sherwin doesn't know Draconic, and that's what I'm speaking in
Mm-hmm.
the dragon's tongue.
No, I don't understand what
Okay.
you're saying at all. I just hear you yelling in a
So
tree.
But
you
you
just
do
hear
know
him yelling,
that
yeah,
I'm speaking in the weird language that I talk to squigs in, so you would know that
yeah.
I'm trying to talk to a dragon.
It's recognizable enough. I'm pretty sure everybody is aware of what the point is at this. Like by now, they kind of know you well enough to know it's probably that.
Yeah, they're like, ah, he's off on that crazy dragon tip again.
Yeah.
just,
Um.
just like that's kind of rude. You're not talking to Squigs while you're looking at him. It's he's down here on the ground and you're yelling off at the stars. So you it's whatever.
Yeah.
You do your thing over there. You do your thing.
Yeah. And
What's
Squigs is like
good,
guarding the top of
Star?
the tree, like looking out for other shit, while
Thanks for
I'm
the
just like
raid,
wildly
dog.
calling up into the sky, like trying to get this
yeah.
dragon to come talk to me.
We appreciate y'all. You already know what it
I
is.
guess Squeaks at
Taco.
some
It's
point. I mean,
Tuesday.
he'll
Slap them
he's
tacos.
your
I made
bestest
nachos
friend
for
ever,
dinner.
so he'll definitely try to help you as much as he can and all
Not
that.
not
But at some
chicken
point, he'll probably get
nachos.
tired and just kind of lie
Vlad,
down
thanks
in
for
his
the
shell.
follow,
Like
dog.
he's gonna
Insert
try
random
to
numbers. Thank you for the follow.
get some
Insomnia Night
sleep a
RPG.
little bit before you.
Thank
He
you.
does lose
Yeah,
interest in that thing a little bit earlier than you.
Nachos are pretty much tacos.
Um,
I told
yeah.
that
So the
to
one
my
thing
5-year-old
that you
earlier.
need
She's like,
is
"Are you making
for you to
tacos?"
roll the wisdom save.
And I said, "I got to roll a wisdom save." Uh, that's a 19.
That's a 19.
That's exactly what I
You
had, Star.
do
That's exactly what I had.
dream of Sidon, but in a weird
Oh,
way.
how weird.
You see kind of his like you don't see him yourself, but you feel like for a moment almost like you are him,
Oh,
and you kind of
oh,
try to like it's a weird feeling. You have this an almost like uncontrollable anger against that Sherwin and his like you're like angry at yourself in a dream. It's a weird situation. You feel like you yeah, it's basically like just being mad at yourself, but in a dream, and it's a strange situation where you also know you're talking to someone. You don't quite see who though. Like there's shadows around you.
is there water around me?
You don't see water
Like,
directly.
am I
You
am I indoors? Am I outdoors? Like when I look around, what
it's
what do I see?
it's
Just dark.
probably indoors
Okay.
because there's no you don't really feel like there is a certain like feeling of like storm that you can't really quite grasp, but it doesn't feel like you're outdoors. It's there's no sea breeze or wind any like that. um you also stand on firm ground as far as you can tell, but it is almost pitch black around you,
Okay.
and you just have like a really narrow tunnel vision to something like there is a like something is backlit almost, so you do see a shadow in front of you,
Okay.
and as you
Like a
turn
like a silhouette.
it's black. Yeah, kind of
Okay.
blurry though,
Okay. Can
and you know you're talking to that like probably that silhouette.
do I have anything like on my person? Like can I cast light on anything to try to
You can you can absolutely try to do anything like that. Let me just check a thing here.
is it like a big silhouette? Is it a slender silhouette? Is it I know you said it's blurry, but like is it
It
tall? Is
is
it short? Does it seem like overwhelmingly big
the
or
problem that you have is that you cannot for the life of you gauge any distance and scale. um, you seem to have a kind of tunnel vision that seems quite narrow,
okay.
and judging by that you would think that that entity that you seem to be like interacting with is of somewhat humanoid size probably, but it is so hard to tell because it also feels to you a little bit like you're just a tiny little dot in like a big black room standing on something that you can feel but not see. So
Okay.
it makes this whole situation very hard to gauge. You would probably assume if you could like reach out and touch that shape that it should be human sized and it's humanoid shaped too,
Okay.
but it is so hard to tell. Like you constantly feel a little bit like you're falling backwards too, but you know you're standing still, and the shape doesn't like change size, so you probably aren't. It's just this weird falling feeling. It's kind of a light feeling. It's not too bad.
Okay.
So, but if you want to, you
Yeah,
can.
can I try to light something up? Like if I light something, do does what does that make anything happen?
Um, what do you want to try to light up?
I guess if I didn't have, do I have anything on my person? Did
You know what you usually like have on you. Um,
like if I
you
could,
know
I would take my wife's shield,
your
like my
shield.
wife's shell, yeah, and
Yeah,
like hold it up as like a lantern type thing, you
as you
know?
kind of more or less think of it, it seems to like it feels like it's there. It's just you can't see yourself. Like you notice in that moment you don't really see yourself.
Okay.
But it seems to be dead. You can feel it. It's on your arm. You can cast light on it. At least nothing seems to prevent you from doing so.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I guess I would just start.
You want to do it?
Yeah. I'm gonna. Yeah.
All right. You cast light on your shield,
Hmm.
and there is a very localized light kind of blinding you without you seeing any further out.
Hmm.
So it's like the source of it is there.
Okay.
It just doesn't go anywhere.
Hmm.
It's still kind of dark anywhere beyond pretty much your own self, which feels like your physical self, but it's also not really there. Like it's weird. And trying to find yourself somehow, and it's just like you exist but don't exist at the same time.
So am I? Can I insight check this silhouette?
You
Like,
can,
try to get a
yes,
vibe off it? Yeah. Okay.
yeah. Make an insight check.
Oh, that's not bad. That's not
That is
bad.
not
That's
bad.
18.
Yeah.
Like, does it? Do I think that that's me?
You don't think it's you.
Okay. Then I think I would go into old man mode and start like shaking my fist in its general direction,
Okay.
like "Get off my lawn," sort of stuff. That is
Okay.
this is my dreams.
Okay. You do so. At least you feel like you're doing it without really, you know, seeing you do it.
Okay,
Um, it's so strange,
I'm just trying to be a man, Star.
but
Trying to be a man.
you feel like you've done the thing, and then you kind of almost feel, you know what? I'll roll for it. Yeah, I'll just calculate it
Ooh,
myself.
ooh.
Wow, yeah.
If
You kind of
this
feel
is
like as soon as you shake your fist, you feel discovered. You feel like someone
oh,
like found you out.
oh, okay.
There's just a sudden rush of, oh no, this
Same
isn't a good
though.
idea.
What's snapping? Same.
You don't really know why.
Oh.
Um,
Maybe,
but
maybe I shouldn't be yelling at this guy.
make like you see the figure, that thing, that's the silhouette in front of you, kind of like stop in its tracks. It doesn't move at all. It didn't move much before, but now it just kind of seems to have locked onto you.
Okay.
And you now just hear, wait. And then there's a split second of like something like cluster headache.
Is
Which
that the voice of Sidon?
no, it's not the voice of Sidon.
Okay.
You it is as weirdly all the voices at once as you can imagine, kind of.
Okay.
It's hard to grasp who that is, and your insight of 18 doesn't help you here. Like
Okay.
you're not entirely sure if you've heard this before or not. It kind of almost rings a bell, but it's like on the tip of your tongue. You can't really put a name to it. Make a con save, please.
Ooh. Okay. A lot of things happening right now. That's an 8.
That's an 8. You take. Let's see.
I don't want to take any damage.
Yeah.
I don't want to take damage.
Oh, this will be interesting. So
You take 4
you
points of
know,
exhaustion. Oh,
how
oh,
about it's
jeez!
21
I'm gonna need you to calm down,
points
miss.
of necrotic damage,
Oh, uh,
but manifested in this dream, which means it's it's this strange feeling of kind of having the worst splitting headache, but also kind of just dissipating. It's really
Okay.
weird mix of feelings. Um, and importantly, you don't wake up.
Oh, I just don't wake up.
No, you like
Okay.
you don't move, you don't do anything. The only thing is you seem to kind of dissipate a little bit. Like it's a bit like all your atoms just have a little bit more distance suddenly. You're just kind of becoming more cloudy, and your head just hurts, which you don't see. You don't see your hands, you see nothing. You do see your very glowing shield, although
It
it's just like a point of light that is now just not very
can
nice to look at.
can I try to cast lesser restoration on myself, seeing as how I feel like I'm blind right now?
You can, you know what? You can try to do that. Um, yeah, you can try to cast lesser restoration. The thing is, it's touch, so and you feel like you can touch. You know, you feel touching your hand if you try to touch your hand. You also feel like there's the shield on your arm, so it seems to be a touch thing. Um, you
Mm,
cast lesser restoration and nothing really changes.
okay.
Like you don't seem to have been blinded. It's you're not, you don't seem to be paralyzed either, which is kind of strange because you as you feel like you're moving and you're feeling your own body move, it doesn't seem like you can go anywhere or anything like that. Like you, if you move your legs, feels like, you know, you're walking on solid ground. It's just your perspective doesn't change. And if you look anywhere else but this spot of a little bit of backlit figure, there's just black around you. There's
Can
just nothing there.
can I just start to pray at that point?
Sure, yeah.
Like, yeah, I think that's. I don't know if I could fall to my knees, but if I could, I that's the moat. He's trying to just like throw himself down and uh, ask what he did wrong and for some help.
Yeah. All right. Um, as you're kind of there, you feel like a presence around you that tries to harm you. You feel like something is out there
Ooh,
that wants to, you know, get at you, but doesn't seem to be able to. Your prayer doesn't feel as good as it usually probably would, but it
okay,
feels like there's a little bit of hope in it, and it
okay.
gives you make another make another wisdom save.
Oh, it's 19.
Yeah. Um, you do feel pretty like it starts to feel like maybe that's just a dream. Maybe if you wake up, if you can just wake up, maybe you wouldn't hurt as much anymore. Maybe, and you kind of start thinking along these lines. still probably watching the, a little bit of shadow theater around you, I guess. Um, yeah. Do you want to try to kind of will yourself to wake up, or
Um,
want to try anything else?
I think before I would try to will myself to wake up, I think I would try to like cast command on anything that I feel that's coming at me, telling it to
Okay.
retreat and back away, and
Okay.
yeah.
For command, I think you would have to, if I'm not, well, it's a creature you can see. You only see one probable creature around you is kind of the problem, but you could tell that to back off. If like
Yeah,
the only creature you see is basically that shadow.
yeah, that's what I
All
see
right.
Sherwin doing for sure.
Okay. Um yeah, in that case, uh
The power of the creator
make a try.
compels you. The power of
Right.
the creator compels
That's
you.
a wisdom save on the other side.
It is a wisdom save on the other side. DC's 15.
I'll roll it like that. Oh, that I'm gonna tell you right away that I don't think. Yeah, it doesn't work. You try.
Yeah.
Nah, it does not seem to, like, it just glazes off. It glances off. It doesn't do anything at all. I feel like you just talk to a wall, kind of.
I feel like at this point, Sherwin just curls up into his shell,
Mm-hmm.
um, and like pure nightmare, just starts yelling and crying, and he's a mess.
As you kind of collapse on yourself, you do suddenly hear Sidon,
That
and he just
bastard.
kind of yells inside your already really throbbing and hurting skull. It just, if you dare come, you just hear him like, you feel like you're in a lightning storm. There's just no lightning around you.
Okay.
You feel this static, and you
Mm.
feel him just kind of daring you to come to him, basically. And then just
Mm.
before you wake up, you hear,
Fuck.
yeah, you hear one more thing from Sidon as well, and you definitely know his voice. He just goes, "There you are." That's the last thing you hear. And you wake up. You are sweaty. You're anything like you're not. You didn't have a long rest. This
No.
did not count. You also really did take the damage,
Yeah, I really use my spell slots too.
and you really used your spell slots too. Um, yeah, and you wake up, and it's not light outside yet. The others are sleeping unless you kind of make enough noise for them to wake up. If you just kind of startle awake without saying anything, they probably won't. Would you like to wake them up or let them?
I would like to move my way out of the tiny hut and sit outside.
Okay. As you go outside, trying to stealth your way around your companions. Um, I mean, your passive perception is really good too. You kind of feel like you're getting a bit paranoid. Like suddenly all this awareness of stuff around you and just little sounds and the waterfall and all that. You you really feel a bit paranoid. Like there's people all around you or something like that. It's still pretty dark.
Okay. Um,
How far do you want to walk? Like, do you want to sit right outside the hut? Do you want to go some like towards anything in
no,
particular?
just right outside the hut. Maybe
All
if
right.
like the stone that they were cooking on is
Mm-hmm.
still like warm,
It's
but not.
warm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like maybe sit on there, like get
Okay.
a nice little toasty bum.
Nice. Yeah. Yep. So you do that and just sit out there and try to calm down, I guess.
We're probably gonna finish up soon, Star. I appreciate you. It's all
Okay.
love.
Thing is, I will have to actually start working,
Boom.
but I would
See,
really like to cut it here also because if I don't, then this would be like a really long session probably because things will happen.
I'm about to poop on side, and that's what's about to happen
Yeah, that too. Um,
with no spell
yeah,
slots.
sorry to the others, but he rolled just a 19 in wisdom, so
Thank y'all for kicking it and hanging out and watching tonight. We
Yeah,
appreciate you.
great. I'm
Just
gonna
a
have to
19.
be complete. Like, we're gonna wake up into immediate argument between me and Soren about who's farting in this fucking hut all night.
yeah, yeah.
Little did you
I just
know,
wanted to kind of read along.
it was Sherwin just nightmare farting.
Steaming.
I know, and I'm trying to tell Soren it wasn't me. I swear to God. But it was clamped tight. Right?
I didn't know you could
Appreciate you,
steam up
Star.
inside of a tiny hut.
We'll catch
guys.
you next
This is
time.
ridiculous.
Dude, I'm telling you. You need a bigger
Esther's
hut
still
then.
passed out, just dragging.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. You're probably dreaming
Alright.
of dragons. Yeah, I can totally see that.
Dragon stink too. Maybe it was his dream thoughts. I don't know. It wasn't me, Soren. I promise.
Oh, great. Yeah, let's pretty much pick up where everybody but Esther. Esther will come in a little bit later because you just stayed up so long. Unless things happen, we'll see. But let's just pick up where you kind of sat down on the still slightly warm stone outside of the hut, Sharon, and the others are at that point still sleeping. But depending on what happens next, they might wake up or not. They will at least whenever it's time to wake up. So that's what we'll have to figure out. Oh wow. Your
Blame it
wisdom
on the
saves are
Goliath.
really good, but you're going up against some titans though. So. Oh wow. Thank you very much. That was really cool. Also,
I think so. Miss.
I'm looking forward to the next time.
Oh yeah.
This is getting really interesting.
Oh yeah.
Also, Esther will get his dragon.
Have a good night, guys.
I'm sure about it.
Yes. I will.